Hey guys, welcome back. So we're just looking around on YouTube, the usual stuff. I went to Esmond Gold's thing, so apparently he was responding to this. So gamers are dying out. I had a look at it for a few minutes to see what his takes are. I didn't watch it all. We'll probably all watch it together. So we're gonna be watching the original video, which is this one here, and his take on it. So I want to see exactly what he thinks. We'll probably talk about a little bit about it at the end more than anything else. But yeah, let's go and get started. I'm hoping I fixed up my mic. Of course I did not. Always stuff it up. So yeah, we'll try and see what the fuss is about.
Can't quite put your finger on why. Well, today you're going to find out why, because gaming has changed.
We'll speed it up, guys. It's slow as hell.
93% of kids prefer playing games on phones. Not PC, not console, phones. So
Yeah, it's probably because it's cheaper. I imagine that's what it is. I think, I thought, to be honest, yeah, phones are pretty cheap. I mean, you can get a cheap phone that can play most of the games. I mean, I think that's the big reason why it's so, that's 93%. I don't know. A lot of them don't have access to PCs or even consoles for that matter, because everyone knows how much more better they are. Especially PCs are basically the top. The top consoles are kind of in the middle, and mobile phones and tablets are pretty much at the bottom. And then you got the other little bits and pieces under that. So yeah, let's continue.
remember your boy Wyatt Cheng? Don't you guys have phones? Oh dear, turns out he was a little bit prescient. But here's another aspect to it. It's how these kids engage with games. Here's a
What do you
quote.
mean?
They no longer identify as gamers. They identify as players of a specific game. So it's not that
Okay. I'm trying to understand that. That doesn't make no sense to me. You're still a gamer, even though if you're playing one type of game or two type of games or 60 type of games, makes no difference. You're still a gamer.
games are a medium that they like, it's that they play Roblox or they play Fortnite. So directionally, based on the real trends that we're seeing, the future of gaming looks like it's people who are fans of one game that probably play it on a phone, which is a bit weird. I don't like it, and it raises a big question. What does it mean for people who prefer what I'll just call traditional gaming experiences? Maybe.
I think maybe he might be talking about like PlayStation, Xbox, and the PC especially. I mean, I run my games on the PC, guys. I don't do a lot of gaming stuff now. I'm cutting it out a bit because here's the thing. I'm a gamer, but I'm not into it as hard as I used to be. I want to start doing other things because I've been doing games for like 40 years. So I'm about 40 now. So I think it's time to start moving on and doing other things and jumping out into the real world. So yeah.
People like you and me. Okay, so in our last video, we looked at gaming's past and compared it to now. And we talked about the 1983 game crash that leveled the American games.
Oh yeah, I remember. I know about that. I wasn't around at the time, guys, but yeah, I know enough about it. I think most people have an idea of it. The whole debacle that occurred back then.
Industry. It's at so many standards for where we are now. But there is a side effect that we didn't talk about, and it's one that's key to gaming's future. You see, when games resurged in
I'm starting to wonder if we are heading to a crash. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, but I'm starting to wonder. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a possibility because there is a lot of games out there, and a lot of them are shit. That's the thing, guys. They're shit games. They're not just games. They're crap.
in America post 1980s game crash, they were sold as toys for children, and that decided the marketing for like the next 40 years.
Yeah,
The
that's
literally
true.
grew up alongside its audience. You had Rob the Robot marketed
Yep.
to young boys, then came G4, Tony Hawk, Call of Duty for the cool teenagers. I was a cool teenager, totally. No, I wasn't. Now, of course, what do we have? Well, we've got cinematic sad dad games, like The Last of Us. Yeah, it's grown up with us. I'd absolutely say gaming has always been for everyone. Anyone can pick up a game. A Nintendo game is an example. But the culture and the marketing, not so much. It has been targeted. And I want you to think about Battlefield 6 and how it just got revealed. Because
Yeah.
they unironically played Limp Bizkit. Yeah, Limp Bizkit. So, go take
Oh my god, I haven't heard of Limb Biscuit for years, guys. Oh my god, Limb Biscuit. Goodness gracious. I liked Limb Biscuit. I still listen to him to this day, just not that much.
your medicine if you remember.
Why
this
am I
crash.
not having
And
this
it
on full
does kind of show
screen?
us something. The culture and marketing around the game industry hasn't changed with technology. They haven't changed with demographics. The kids of 2025, they will not be impressed by Limp Bizkit selling a game in the way that maybe
Nah.
the target
No one will even care.
audience of Battlefield 6 will feel nostalgic, especially one that needs a $600.
Yeah, so we say 500 plus. Yeah. Prices are so ridiculous, guys. I mean, it's another reason why I'm not doing so much games, because games are expensive, but they're not like... I don't know. For me, I just changed. I think that's what it is. I changed to a different person. I mean, I'm more of a person who likes doing things outside and start doing things at home. I like doing YouTube, obviously, and streaming and things like that, which I do plan to do more. But yeah, people change. but I do still play games, and for the most part, I stream when I play them. That's the only time I play games now, guys. Realistically, I don't even prepare for games these days. I hate it. So that's just how I am now.
Console. And why would they be? They have thousands of experiences on their phones. Experiences that
True.
are to them just as entertaining, or should I say, to their brain chemistry and systems are just as engaging. Personally, I think there's something to be said for the depth of an experience, but basically, that's what they think games can and should be. And now we've got data, we've got stats to back it up. And,
All right,
well,
let's
take
see
it
what
right
he's got to
in.
say.
This is kind of going to hurt. IGN State of Gaming report frames this as a generational shift, and it does go along with a lot of other data that we've seen. Essentially, Gen X and millennials think of gaming in terms of platform loyalty. That's, the 70s through to the 90s generation. So basically, most of the people watching this video, at least per the demographics I see on YouTube, we're no strangers to tribalism in gaming. That's why we, have a console war or a PC master race. But
Yeah.
distinctions between platforms are, of course, completely breaking down. We see that. I mean, the need for a platform is kind of disappearing. We see that in cross-platform games, but younger generations simply do not engage in the same way whatsoever. Here's some
True.
stats to make that make sense. 93% of under 13s prefer playing games on their phone. So that's the 2000s to 2010s generation. The cooked generation. Only
Yeah, that's the
15%
best way of saying it.
report
I think
PC,
they are
which is
stuffed.
very sad. And by PC, it's probably a laptop. Even 32% of millennials now prefer playing on phones. I have to wonder if it's because, well, the torment nexus that is called the world has cooked all of our brains to the point where that's really all that we can latch onto. Convenience. But for those numbers in the 80s and the 90s, well, that's what those people have grown up with. Now, this graph from Matthew Ball's State of Gaming report does help to explain everything as well.
Yeah, okay, this explains a lot. I mean, okay, I don't know. Oh my god, these games. This is, I think, why I've lost love in games, guys. There's just so much, like the PC Master Race and the Game Wars, whatever you want to call them. They kind of, I got sick of them, like back in the Super Nintendo era, like back all the way back. It's not even on this graph. It's further that way. Either way, yeah, I got kind of sick of it. So even though I do enjoy games, I do play them, and I do other things, a bit nerdy stuff. But see, my nerdy stuff only takes about 20% of my time. Everything else is mostly YouTube, streaming. That's probably about 50%, and the rest of it's just spending time with my family and friends. Yeah.
Let's look at Roblox as a case study, which of course does mean content warning. Get ready for some real goddamn sheer horror. Roblox has existed since 2007. That was the first full year of the Xbox 360, PS3, and the Wii, but it didn't take off properly until 2016. It didn't really explode until an audience fluid in tablets began playing, and then the pandemic kind of changed everything.
Yeah, it changed over time.
Unlike the rest of the industry post-pandemic, Roblox kept growing. Yeah, so the way we talk about
I hate Roblox. I really do.
Maybe that happened in some places. Roblox, it's the one place where those trends actually held, and it's outperforming everything.
We know.
Crazy. Grow a Garden has the highest concurrent user base ever of a game, with 21.3 million players. It was made by a 16-year-old in 3 days. So, compare your multi-hundred staff AAA studio to a 16-year-old in 3 days, and feel sad. And that might.
I know that is.
Alarming.
It is, but you still got to remember these are like add-on parts to Roblox, not a whole game. It's just basically a small add-on.
Is this where gaming's going? I mean, we're already seeing Sega and Starbreeze licensing official games in Roblox. Like a Dragon, Payday,
Yep.
Those are in Roblox. You could think the industry will coalesce into platform-agnostic mega games that kids will grow up with.
Yeah, okay, I'm starting to get where he's coming from.
And that those will wipe out everything else. And I get the fear, and I know why the fear-mongering can work. And there are some things to be afraid of, but the thing is, that's already how the games industry works. And I'd say we're already feeling some of the downsides. So what if I told you that Call of Duty and Counter-Strike are basically just Roblox, but for boomers? I don't know why I'm saying Call of Duty and boomers. Let's say Counter-Strike. Yeah, CS is boomer Roblox. Now, it literally isn't in many ways, but what it is a mono game, because for many of those people, that may as well be the only game that they play. On our other channel, I cover a lot of World of Warcraft because it unfortunately got its claws into me when I was young, and now I can't escape. And to many people, World of Warcraft is basically the only game they need, the only thing they play. Now, every month, we get a new report from Circana, right? This is their engagement report. And every month, what do we see? We see the same 10 games report the highest player counts.
Yep, it's always the same.
A cool indie like Peak will punch through, especially in PC. And looking at Matthew Ball's work, he has found the same pattern since 2021, where on PC, 5 games make up 30% of total playtime. Those games are COD, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League, and Minecraft. The top 10 games, those eat up 50% of playtime on average. What that essentially means is massive concentration.
True.
On consoles, things are even more concentrated. It takes just 5 games to hit 50% of total playtime. Those are COD, FIFA/EAFC, Fortnite, GTA, and NBA 2K. The top 10 reach 60% of playtime. So where does everyone else live? The answer is in the margins, 6.5%. What is that number? This will shock you. That is the total playtime for newly released games in 2023. And it was a good year. Just 4 games.
Oh, well, you're telling me.
Which were Baldur's Gate.
I think I'm getting a hint. So they're telling me that even the new game, when the new games come out, that it's still not a demand. So that it's implying that the certain games that are already out, like you say, Call of Duty, Minecraft, and all that, those ones are always going to perform even new games. Is that what he's trying to tell me? Or am I misreading it? I feel like I might be misreading it a little bit. But yeah, that's weird because maybe that's why I'm losing interest in it. I don't know. There's a lot of thinking, guys. I've got a lot of game stuff here, and I will continue probably doing it for a while yet. Unless I get to a point where I don't feel like it's just worthy anymore, I could be just moving on, guys. Yeah. Might move on to doing other stuff, continue doing these React stuff, all the other things I'm doing here. Let's get back to it because I'm getting a bit sidetracked.
Starfield, Diablo 4, and Hogwarts Legacy. There's strong games in there, yet only 6.5%.
Yeah, that's jack
That's
shit.
because only so many people are willing to play those new games. Because much like the kid who only plays Roblox, or maybe the teen who only plays Fortnite, for a lot of people, they only play COD, they only play EA, they only play CS. And Newzoo's 2025 report shows something that's also interesting. The number of people playing just 1 to 3 games per year has actually increased consistently over 4 years. That's across Steam,
That's
PlayStation,
weird.
and Xbox. And the times where people do play more games, those are just when AAAs have a bad year. And that is the closest correlation they've found. Of that 1 to 3 game group in Steam, the majority play Counter-Strike, 37%, or Dota, 10%. So it's still very much a case of mega games. And what we see here is it's not just the kids. No, it's actually the way that multiple industries within the games industry went. Most players have their game, they might try something else, but they very often don't, and the numbers back it up. Now think about kids playing games on their phones, or teens playing games on their phones. What does that mean for the next generation? What does that mean for people who, according to this research, do play a lot of games and are responsible for, well, at least in Roblox, one of the things that's holding up game industry growth, like literally pretty much the only thing that has continued the COVID trends that all the investor types hope for? Well, those people don't think of themselves as gamers. So what does that mean for the next generation of games? You may have heard of the now departed investing legend Charlie Munger. One of his good lines is, show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. And what these reports show us is that the incentives are changing because the audiences are changing. Companies that need a larger audience will need to meet people where they are. We're seeing that games like Genshin and Infinity Nikki look like Ubisoft-style mega games, but they're launching across console, PC, and phone. Where Winds Meet does the same. That is the new priority. And it's why PlayStation and Xbox both chase subscription models. Different approaches, but same goal. These audiences expect instant access to huge libraries of games, not individual purchases. And this
Okay, I'm getting the point. I do understand.
Releases this year. Battlefield and Skate are effectively franchise revivals. They are legacy games coming back for an aging audience who love them, along with some Limp Bizkit to handle the marketing. But they're different. And honestly, in an exciting way, because they are both launching with user-generated content tools. Often I think of UGC and I think of some bizarre skibbity situation with a lot of very vibrant colors that makes me feel old and confused happening in Roblox.
Trust me, I'm starting to feel that too.
For something like Battlefield. I'll tell you what it means. Extremely impressive shit, at least based on what we've seen from BF6 so far. So it could very much be that those dynamics work for the audiences of those games, and that if done right, those games could see growth in a similar-ish way. And there is some precedent as well. It's a little thing that we call the modding culture of PC gaming, right? Pretty big. Just that this time it's framed through Roblox's horrifically predatory ecosystem, one that uses kids to generate infinite revenue. Yeah, moral issues very much exist. But goddamn, what a business model. Turns out just child labor, that's where it was at all the time. Child labor, parents' money, what could go wrong? Now, this demographic change opens audiences up to new sorts of experiences. These kids find new modes daily. They play new games daily within their Roblox. Maybe to them, they have an incredibly diverse gaming library and are playing new things absolutely all of the time in a way that you or I maybe don't, because firing up a new indie game, learning a bunch of new systems and all of that legit just takes brain effort. I mean, for a simple example, it's no wonder that systemic experience-driven games like Peak or Lethal Company take off and then get microtransaction-filled clones in Roblox.
Yep.
To get that parrot money. But certain games simply don't matter to this changing audience. Because so far in this video, we've not talked about linear single-player narrative games, which so far do seem to be limited to sad dad games. They just aren't in the equation here. Even though I wager those are the games that most people watching this channel care about quite a bit indeed. That might be a shocking thing, but it might be the best thing for the games that you love. Okay, think of this. The highest rated network broadcast of 2024 was Tracker. It got 11.34 million views. High Potential and Matlock Revival followed, all exceeded 15 million viewers. Massive successes. But the market is so big that you may not know about them. I literally did not know about any of those things until I came upon doing this video. Now, those shows massively outperformed Emmy-winning things like Shogun, The Bear, The Traders, Hacks, and all of those were outperformed by Squid Game and Netflix, which itself was outperformed by TikTok and social media. But it doesn't mean those experiences are being wiped out, and I think that's where we're getting to in games. When great games release, they aren't trying to appeal to everyone. They are absolutely maxing what they should be as a game for their people. And if that is so good, it can expand its audience, then we see these games grow, and very often grow massively via viral network effect dynamics, like say with Lethal Company. And thinking of critical and public consensus, Expedition 33 is incredible. It is a top runner for Game of the Year. But if you look at top selling games of the year and top engagement charts, you won't see Expedition 33. it is in there. 1 in 20 players on Steam or Xbox played Expedition 33 at launch, according to Circana. Slightly fewer on PlayStation. But what we've learned is the market may be expanding and changing, but even now, in an industry that rewards big games and entrenched audiences, those games can still be made. They can still be enjoyed, and that is what matters. And I think the biggest lesson of all of these is that execution matters and that focus matters. Expedition 33 is everything you would want with nothing that you would not want for a game like that. It is not a bloated, shambling mess, saddled by having to find meaningful work for a production crew of 300 people. And funnily enough, that might mean that it's well executed and that there is strong focus. I think that that is going to be the way forward for the sorts of games that many of us would be afraid we're going to stop seeing. Now, in this video, you've learned how the gaming market is changing. The demographics have completely shifted.
There's a lot of things different, guys. I mean, yeah, as I said, I'll still do games, guys, but I won't be doing them ridiculously a lot. I'm mostly just going to do one Let's Play a day and one stream a day on those things, because I think that's going to be my future, because I'm going to continue doing other things. Now, let's watch Asmongold's take. Now, he's going to be a long one, so 46 minutes, so I'm going to speed him up a bit.
About. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Sometimes things feel different, but you can't quite put your finger on why. Well, today you're going to find out why, because gaming has changed. We've got new data that suggests 93% of kids prefer playing games on phones. Not PC, not console, phones.
No. It's just because they
Asmongold looks like he's about to have a heart attack.
don't know what it's like to play on a PC. They don't understand
I already said
they
that.
Don't understand the level of experience. They can't, like, of course they don't know that they like it more because they can't afford it. That's the reason.
Wyatt Cheng, don't you guys have
He's
fun?
completely right.
Oh dear, turns out he was a little bit prescient. But here's another aspect to it. It's how these kids engage with games.
All right, I'm going to ask a question. Why is it every time I watch Asmongold, he's got some sort of soft drink in his hand? I mean, I'm generally drinking water most of the time. I mean, mostly. But yeah, every time I see him, he's got some sort of soft drink. I hate soft drink.
Quote, they no longer identify as gamers. They identify as players of a specific game.
That's like World of
Warcraft. That
Warcraft.
games are a medium that they like. It's that they play Roblox or they play Fortnite. So directionally, based on the real trends that we're seeing, the future.
That's kind of a pretty big difference. I mean, I guess for me and a lot of WoW players probably also that were stuck inside the cave.
Yeah.
Is something that, you know, isn't really that surprising because there's a lot of WoW players that are not gamers. They just simply play WoW and that's it.
Of gaming
True.
looks like it's people who are fans of one game.
That's right.
And probably play it on
Like a
phone,
meta game.
which is a bit weird. I don't like it, and it raises a big question. What does it mean for people who prefer what I'll just call traditional gaming experiences? Maybe people like you and me.
Yes.
Okay, so in our last video, we looked at gaming's past and
Who's
compared to
gaming
now.
for?
We talked about the 1983 game.
Retarded kids that can't control their impulses that will spend money irresponsibly. That's who gaming's for. Everybody knows this.
True. I mean, that is completely true. I mean, you probably shouldn't use the R word, but yeah, basically, they've got no impulse control, so they'll do whatever they can do to get the money and throw it into the game. So that's where the whole stuff talks about.
Crash that leveled the American games industry. It's at so many standards for where we are now. But there was a side effect that we didn't talk about, and it's one that's key to gaming's future. You see, when games resurged in America post-1980s game crash, they were sold as toys for children.
Right.
And that decided the marketing for like the next 40 years. The medium literally grew up alongside its audience. You had Rob
True.
marketing to young boys.
I agree with that, guys. I already talked about it in the before this.
Now, of course,
I was, and I had Halo, and we had Tony Hawk, and we had all the wrestling games, we had Dragon Ball Z, we had Soul Calibur, we had Super Smash Brothers, we had fucking everything, and it was awesome, bro. It was so good.
We've got cinematic sad dad games.
But back in the day,
The Last of Us has done irreparable damage to the gaming industry. It made every fucking annoying, pretentious theater kid that makes video games think that they can be a fucking Hollywood director. It's so annoying. You're not Kojima. Pack it the fuck up, you annoying fat millennial, and just make a video game like Fall Guys and shut the fuck up.
Of us. Yeah, it's grown up with us. That's say gaming has always been for everyone. Anyone can pick up a game. A Nintendo game is an example.
Really,
but the culture and the marketing, not so much. It has been targeted. And I want you to think about Battlefield 6 and how it just got revealed. Because they unironically played Limp Bizkit. Yeah, Limp Bizkit. So, you know, go take
as I said before, he's a bit outdated, guys.
And it does kind of show something. The culture and marketing around the game industry hasn't changed with technology. They haven't changed with demographics.
Well, they tried. They tried for a long time to market video games to quote everyone and to go after modern audiences. But what they realized is that there aren't any. And the real audience of a military tactical shooter where you run around and kill other people with guns, in fact, turns out to be a majority men. That's right. It's mostly guys.
Yeah.
Who could have guessed?
They will not be impressed by Limp Bizkit selling a game in the way that maybe the target audience of Battlefield 6 will feel nostalgic, especially one that needs a $600 console.
That's crazy.
And why would they be? They have thousands of experiences on their phones. Experiences that are, to them, just as entertaining. Or, should I say, to their brain chemistry and systems are just as engaging. Personally, I think there's something to be said for the depth of an experience. But basically, that's what
I think that little kids can't process a complex game because they're little kids. Like, if you're 8 years old, you're going to want to play Roblox because it's McDonald's content. There's nothing really to it. It's super simple. There's one button.
Yeah, it's basically just very minimal button pushing. Actually, it's probably the reason I started getting sick of games, to be honest, because there's a lot of button pushing. I think the experience of it kind of died off on me and all that. But yeah.
and it's really easy to understand. And the thing is that when I was a little kid, I had trouble figuring out like Final Fantasy 3 and 4. Like I couldn't do that. And so like over time, as you get older, you kind of evolve and you play better games. And I think that's what
stats to back it up.
All right, we're back.
And, well, take your Vicodin, because this is kind of going to hurt. IGN State of Gaming report frame.
Sorry, guys. I went away for a while. I had things to do. It happens every so often. Hopefully we can keep going.
This as a generational shift,
What?
and it does go along with a lot of other data that we've seen. Essentially, Gen X and millennials think of gaming in terms of platform loyalty. That's, the 70s through to the 90s generation. So basically, most of the people watching this video, at least per the demographics I see on YouTube, we're no strangers to tribalism in gaming. That's why we, have a console war or a PC master race.
Yeah.
But distinctions between platforms are, of course, completely breaking down. We see that. I mean, the need for
I think that the platform wars ended like 4 years ago. And I think that at this
Sorry
point,
about
they're
that.
basically dead. Xbox threw in the towel, and it's better for everyone. Hopefully, Nintendo will eventually follow suit. That would be amazing. I don't think they ever will, but I do hope that one day it happens.
Yeah.
I feel like console wars are dead, man. They've been dead.
They've been dead for ages.
kind of disappearing. We see that in
There's like 3 fat 40-year-old men that are on Twitter that are continuing it. It's like, in like World War II, there was like a soldier that didn't know that World War II was over until like 1970 something. And so like they came and told him, like, wait, bro, like it's done. And he's like, oh shit, they're like that guy.
Yeah.
Games, but younger generations.
The difference here is the guy actually like freaked out about it a bit. These guys do not know what they're talking about when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah. So the war's have been over for about 4 or 5 years. Xbox threw the towel in, but he says it's better for everyone. It's probably true. But yeah, let's keep going.
Simply do not engage in the same way whatsoever. Here's some stats to make that make sense. 93% of under 13s prefer playing games on their phone. So that's the 2000s.
Because they haven't experienced a PC. They don't know what it's like. That's the reason why they don't get it yet. And also, they're under 13. Their brain can't understand a complex video game because they're stupid. You have to understand that like kids nowadays, like their brains are probably smaller. And
It's probably true because we do know a lot of things we are eating, breathe, and all that stuff. It's affecting our brains and affecting how complex they can be at younger ages.
even if they're not physically smaller, they're like like functionally smaller. Like kids nowadays, like you gotta understand, like they're really stupid. Like it's bad. Like they're really dumb. And like you think about it, right? They grew up on Cocomelon. They evolve into Roblox. They have like weirdos talking to them at Roblox. They're 9 years old. Oh, they never move around, so they can't even like walk upstairs. It's just real. Look it up. And then they're like 10 years old, 11 years old. They start doing Galaxy Gas. They forget how to write their name that they learned at 9 years old. And then by the time they get in high school, they can't even do math. Like no, kids are like I don't think people understand how bad it is.
Oh, it's bad. It's pretty bad. I believe it.
Fortnite influencer. They've got TTV next to their name or YouTube next to their name, trying to like stream snipe iShow speed and like be the next famous person. And like this, no, I'm serious. Like that's what's going on here. It's really bad, bro. It's so bad. I don't even blame the kids. They don't know what they're missing. That's the problem.
Generation.
Yeah, I think he's right there. The development is pretty bad. I mean, when I was younger, I played games most of the time. I'll be honest. I didn't really have much of a social life. I'm much older now. I do have more. I have a bit more experience. I go out a bit more these days. Not so much, but a lot of my friends I do have are not financially sound, including myself. But yeah, it's just a lot of things like that.
Prefer a core PC.
Yes.
Of course, it's very sad. And by PC, it's probably a laptop. Even 32% of millennials now prefer playing on phones. I have to wonder if it's because
they're just fat and old and they can't handle PC games anymore. That's not really a surprise.
Yeah, I give him credit,
the format nexus that is called the world has cooked all of our brains to the point where that's really all that we can latch onto. Convenience.
I think also another big reason is that millennials, and this is what happens with older people in general, is that complex video games, something like World of Warcraft or something like Expedition 33, for example, these are video games that require a tremendous amount of like mental like decision making and awareness. And as a person gets older or as a person is younger, both of these segments are just simply not interested in that. The young people can't process it and the older people don't want to because they're busy. And so really you have this middle ground of like people from I would say ages like 12 to like 30 to like 40, right? And like
yeah, it's about right.
Really you're making those like complex video games for. Those are the ones that really care about that. And I've realized this is myself because I think to myself like how did I feel about myself like when I was 21, 22 years old playing video games? Being good at video games was one of the most important things to me. Being able to accomplish goals in video games mattered more than almost anything else. Like I would sacrifice almost anything in order to get more time playing video games. But then as I got older and as my life changed and as I just did that over a period of time and I gained those achievements, in both real life achievements and also in game achievements, I simply lost that momentum. I don't care. I really
that
don't
interest
care much anymore. Like
yeah, he's completely right, guys. I am agreeing with him. This is how I feel too. You simply don't give a shit.
You're bad at the game. Yeah. Like it's not even something I really think about. It's not a big deal. Taste change over time. Yeah, it's just a game. At the end of the day, it really is just a game.
Yeah.
You lost that dog again? Yeah. I don't have that competitive drive. I don't have the reason like, oh, I want to farm this game 12 hours a day anymore. Like that's not.
Yep, I agree.
Impulse that I feel anymore.
He's right.
And
That's
I've
what I
noticed a
don't
lot of
like
people
doing.
that are around my age that are the same way. Like, a lot of my friends, like, they're already married and have kids and everything. And even if they wanted to get back into World of Warcraft, they just wouldn't really have the time to do it. So they
Mm.
stick to simpler games and things that they can still enjoy. They like gaming, but they just don't have the time to invest into a complex game.
Yeah, fair enough. And a
That's
long
it.
game.
The payoff of farming games isn't there. Exactly, yeah. Like the payoff, and this is what happens, right? Is that when you're a young man, especially, there are very few things in your life that you can work towards and really get a genuine payoff that's tangible. So I think video games for young men are that outlet where they can
Yeah.
really work towards a goal and achieve that goal systematically. And as young men get older, they obviously achieve more prominence in the workplace. They achieve more prominence socially. They hopefully achieve more prominence with getting a girlfriend, etc. And the desire and the need to fulfill that desire through a video game diminishes because it's being fulfilled elsewhere.
Yeah,
And I think that's a good
exactly.
thing, but that's
I
because
think that's the
why
reason
kids-
why I'm like that too, guys, because I got like, okay, I'm gonna explain. I won't go too far into it, but last few years I had like major like depression, and all I wanted to do was just stay home and play video games. That was it. Um, Now that I've kind of got out of it, I'm being a bit more out. Have had family and friends who help me out like more than anything. Um, I kind of have no interest in video games, or next to no interest. I mean, I still play them, and like Power World and all those games, and also I will play them still, of course. But I only put a small amount of time into them. I don't put hours of them grinding or anything. I mean, I'll do things for the stream every so often, but as I've changed, guys, I don't tend to do it no more. So it is what happens. Well, it's called life.
my age and older are moving away from competitive gaming experiences and hardcore farming game experiences. That's the reason why.
True.
In the 90s, well,
That's what I think.
that's what those people have grown up with. Now, this graph from Matthew Ball's State of Gaming report does help to explain everything as well. Let's look at Roblox as a case study, which of course
Oh, I don't like
Get ready for some
Roblox.
real goddamn sheer horror. Roblox has existed since 2007. That was the
Damn.
first full year of the Xbox
Wow,
360,
I didn't know that.
PS3, and the Wii. But it didn't take off properly
Yeah, I thought
until
you meant
2016.
2016.
It didn't really explode until an audience fluid in tablets began playing, and then the pandemic
Oh, shit.
kind of changed everything. Mobile
Yeah.
capacity increased.
Wow,
increased
look at
units.
that.
Unlike
Holy
the rest of the
shit.
industry post-pandemic, Roblox kept growing. Yeah, so you know the way we talk about the games crash and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that happened in some places. Roblox,
Mhm.
it's the one place where those trends actually held, and it's outperforming everything.
Well,
This
that's
one-
because Roblox won the metaverse race without even playing. That's what I think is really funny. Roblox became a metaverse without even trying. And they beat out Google, they beat out Meta, they beat
Mhm.
out Amazon, they beat out everyone.
crazy. Grow a Garden has the highest concurrent user base ever of a game with 21.3 million players. It was made by a 16-year-old in 3 days.
Keep in mind, that's like if my red number right now, instead of saying 40,000 or whatever it said 22 million. Okay? That's concurrent. That's not followers. That's not subscribers. That's not people that watched it today. That's people that are online at that exact moment. That's the red number.
So, compare your multi-hundred staff AAA
Yeah.
studio to a 16-year-old in 3 days, and it feels sad.
You got got.
And that might sound alarming. It is alarming. Is this where gaming's going? I mean, we're already seeing Sega and Starbreeze licensing official games in Roblox.
Yep.
Like a Dragon.
Yeah, they have.
Roblox. You could think the industry
They're
will
platforms,
collapse into
guys, basically for
platform
other.
games that kids will grow up
Yeah,
with,
mini
basically
games,
second
yeah.
homes, and that those will be
Minecraft's
like
got it.
games.
Roblox especially got it. There's a lot of them that do have it.
And there are some things to be
And that's
afraid
where
of.
they're
I don't
going.
think it's gonna happen, honestly. I mean, kids, like, again, like, it's a game made for kids. I mean, kids that grow up with Power Rangers don't want to watch Power Rangers for their whole life. I mean, there's nostalgia for it for sure, but interests evolve as kids grow older.
Yeah,
But
interest changes.
The thing is, that's
Even
how
I
Roblox
noticed
has
that,
been
guys,
since
and-
Roblox. I'd say we're already feeling some of the downsides. So what if I told you that Call of Duty and Counter-Strike are basically just Roblox, but for boomers? I don't know why I'm saying Call of Duty and boomers. Let's say Counter-Strike. Yeah,
Yeah.
CS is boomer Roblox. Now, it literally isn't in many ways, but what it is a mono game. Because for many of those people,
They
that
just
may as
play.
well be the only game that they play.
Well, I mean,
On
World of Warcraft, yeah, there, okay.
our other channel, I cover a lot of World of Warcraft because
Yep.
it unfortunately got its claws into me when I was young, and now I can't escape. And to
Whoa.
many people, World of Warcraft is basically the only game they need. The only thing they
Exactly. That's like, for a long time, the only game I played was World of Warcraft, and I played it for over 8 hours every
Mhm.
single day. And I did that for years, thousands of hours.
Now, every month,
Yep.
we get a new report from Circana, right? This is their engagement report. And every month, what do we see? We see the same 10 games report the highest player
Man.
counts, console and PC space. Now, sometimes a cool indie like Peak will punch through,
I've heard
especially in
about
PC. And
Oh
look at
yeah,
that.
there's some
This
cool.
fancy
There are
PC
some cool
games
games that
where
do
we
come
see
through.
5 games make up
But for the
30%
most
of total
part,
playtime.
yeah,
This
it's
is true with everything. Like, it is. It's true with everything. Like, it's the same with revenue. It's the same with economy size, with countries. Generally, almost everything trends towards extremes, where the largest amount of something is consolidated around a very small percentage of whatever is holding on to it.
yeah.
Movies, books, shows, stocks, the Pareto principle. I think it's even, this is something, it's like, what's that thing, that golden fucking, like, I think it was like Michelangelo or Da Vinci, that, like, the spiral thing? I unironically think that is the numerical version of the golden ratio. Yeah, for much, yeah, exactly. This is the numerical version, because it
Yeah.
manifests in almost every single type of data and information.
Games are COD, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League, and Minecraft. The top 10 games, those eat up 50% of playtime on average. What that essentially means is massive concentration. But on consoles, things are even more concentrated. It takes just the top 5 games to hit 50% of total playtime. Those are
Yep.
COD, FIFA,
Yeah.
FC, Fortnite, GTA, and NBA 2K. The top 10 reach 60% of playtime. So where does everyone else live? The answer is in the margins.
They're in the
6.5%.
slums.
What is that number? This will shock
That's
you.
one way of looking
By
at
the
it.
way, you want to know another place this is very similar to is Twitch. Twitch is like this as well. Think
Yeah.
about it. Like, you go and you look at the viewership on Twitch, almost everybody is watching the big streams, and then meanwhile, you have just a handful of people that are getting all of the views.
That's true. I've seen that happen lots.
It's a good year. Just 4 games.
Some of the best content is on smaller streamers too.
What the fuck?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay.
There's strong games in there, yet only 6.5%. Why? Well, it's because
Probably doesn't agree with that.
to play those new games. Because much like the kid who only plays Roblox, or maybe the teen who only plays Fortnite,
Yeah.
a lot of people, they only play COD. They only play EA.
Again, this is, I bet boomers probably said, or Gen Xers said this about millennials with WoW. This is just their version of World of Warcraft. Or Halo.
Yeah.
There were mono games 20 years ago, too. Like CS.
They only play CS.
Yep.
And Newzoo's 2025 report shows something that's also interesting. The number of people playing just 1 to 3 games per year has actually increased consistently.
Yeah, that's a bit of a
It's
problem.
number one because video games, like what a lot of games try to do, is they try to have different reasons for you to log on and play. And
Yeah,
for example,
exactly.
like, you know, WoW has pet battles, they have PvP, they're going to have housing in the new expansion, they have raiding, dungeons, mount farming. And so even if you don't want to play the core game loop, there are other things that you can do inside of the game that keep you engaged inside of the general
Yeah.
ecosystem. Gacha games have this as well. Like if you've played Honkai Star Rail, if you've played Genshin Impact, if you've played Wuthering Waves, you'd know this, or Zenless Zone Zero. There's always these little puzzle games, these little bullshit, events that you do. And the reason why they do that is they want to keep you inside of the ecosystem of the game. I'm assuming, yeah, exactly, right? And so they keep them, talking about adults or kids or who, with everybody. And also here's another reason, is that more and more video games are becoming more complex and more metagamed. And like, for example, it's very hard for a person to maintain consistency playing multiple competitive games unless that's all they do, or they're just really talented, or, for whatever reason, they used to be a pro player, but now they're not, so they have like a proclivity for it. In general, keeping up with metagames has become harder and harder and harder over time.
I
And so
agree.
what's
That's
happened is
why
that
I
people have just
kind of lost
consolidated
interest in
around
it.
playing a handful of games or just one game, because that way they can just keep up with that one singular game and they don't feel like they're behind. You add that together with the amount of daily quests and retention mechanics that every video game seemingly has now, at least every online live service game,
Yeah.
and you have people that are just constantly playing the same exact thing.
Yeah, that's why I was struggling
like,
on
you
my
see this also,
channel.
like, with
I
Twitch. How
tried
many
to
plays
play like them, like the best I can for one of them, and then move on to another game. It's impossible to do. My main focus, guys, will be on games that are more like, well, especially the streams and the let's plays. We focus on games that are not big, like like Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, and many others I can't think of the top of my head. Because I'm getting sick of like getting into a game and then they keep adding new stuff on it. I don't want a game like that. I know Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to be very similar, so it's going to be a bit of an issue. It means it will require me to come into it every so often and update. But I don't know, that's just how I think.
Like a League streamer or a WoW streamer or a CS streamer, that if they play any other game, their viewership goes down by like 90%. It's into the shitter. Absolute
Yeah.
garbage. You
He's
the
right.
stats. Yep, there you go. And that's what happens.
He's
Overwatch
right.
2, yep, that's another one. Of course.
Over 4 years.
It's hard.
That's across Steam.
Where'd you go,
PlayStation,
Kat?
and Xbox. And the times where people do play more games, those are just when AAAs have a bad year. And that is the closest correlation they've found. Of that 1 to 3 game group in Steam, the majority play Counter-Strike, 37%, or Dota, 10%. So even then, it's still very much a case of mega games. And what we see here is it's not just the kids.
Yeah.
No, it's actually the way
And
that
this is also, like, I'm going to talk about a second order effect of this. This is why people are so tribalistic about their gacha games. This is why there's so many fights over Genshin Impact being better than Wuthering Waves, or whether this or that gacha game is dying. It's because people invest all of their time into these games, and they don't want to have their waifus dissipate into the void.
Basically, yeah.
That's the reason why. They're terrified of that. And that could also happen to World of Warcraft, because eventually World of Warcraft will probably go into a maintenance mode. I don't think they're ever going to shut down the servers. Realistically, in our timeline, they're probably never going to shut down the servers. They're going to keep them up forever. But the point is that, even that being said, WoW players are hating WoW, the stats blow. Yeah, of course, right? But they don't want to lose that. And all that time and all that investment. And that's why people are so tribalistic about video games. It's because they've invested so much into them.
multiple industries within the games industry went. Most players have their game. They might try something else, but they very often don't, and the numbers back it up.
Or they go back.
In their phones, or teens playing games in their phones. What does that mean for the next generation? What does that mean for people who, according to this research, do play a lot of games and are responsible for, well, at least in Roblox, one of the things that's holding up game industry growth, like literally pretty much the only thing that has continued the COVID trends that all the investor types hope for. Well, those people don't think of themselves as gamers. So what does that mean for the next generation of games? You may have heard of the now departed investing legend Charlie Munger. One of his good lines is, show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. And what these reports show us is that the incentives are changing because the audiences are changing. Companies that need a larger audience will need to meet people where they are. We're seeing
Yeah.
and Infinity Nikki look like Ubisoft-style mega games, but they're launching across console, PC, and phone. Where wins
Most games have to be phone compatible now, and I think you're.
Oh
Gonna see
yeah,
that more and
definitely
more.
true.
I also don't think this is necessarily a bad thing as long as the gameplay isn't diminished. If you keep in mind that a lot of the games that we grew up playing, things like Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, like I recently was playing Hollow Knight, like many of the games that we played growing up could be played on mobile easily. So let's not act like, oh, you have to have a PC to play a good game. There's plenty of simplistic games that were playable back then. So you said this, I have. I've been saying this for a while. It's very obvious. And then the other big reason why is that, and this is something that I'm sure Bellier will probably discuss, maybe he won't, is that this is also a very regional trend. So, for example, in China, mobile gaming is much more prevalent than PC gaming comparatively to the West here. And it's also true
Oh,
in South America
definitely.
because over there, a lot of them have phones, but few of them have gaming PCs. And because of that, and also like it cuts into like, for example,
I don't think he talks about it at all, dude.
Like, for example, like in China, it's much more common for people to use public transportation. And when they're using public transportation, they're able to sit there on their phone and play a video game. That doesn't really work culturally here in America because most people have cars. So over there,
Exactly, actually, I agree with that. Because we do the same thing in Australia.
Right? And so what's
I
happening
hate
now
catching
is that
public
we're seeing
transport.
a convergence of phone games and also PC games. And I think this is a good thing, by the way. It is a good thing because I feel like a lot of PC games are getting into this like graphical, oh yeah, if you look at the hair on this guy's head and you can see that like, oh, well, like 3 of them are gray and this is the reason why you need to buy a new $4,000 computer. Yeah, I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. So you're basically hitting we've hit, I think, a graphical
limit.
Kind of diminishing return.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that now with Where Winds Meet. This game's going to be playable on phone and it looks pretty fucking good, I would say.
Yeah, well, phones are pretty good themselves. They're not the worst.
PlayStation and Xbox both chase subscription models. Different approaches, but same goal. These audiences expect instant access to huge libraries of games, not individual purchases. And this trickles down into design decisions. Take a look at EA's releases this year. Battlefield and Skate are effectively franchise revivals. They are legacy games coming back for an aging audience who love them, along with some limp biscuit to handle the marketing, but they're different. And honestly,
I don't know why I put him in it. He's not very popular.
Often I think of UGC and I think of some
Where'd my phone go, guys?
situation with a lot of very vibrant colors that makes me feel old and confused happening in Roblox.
I did that.
Well,
Oh, there it is.
something like Battlefield.
Cat's sitting on it.
Extremely impressive shit, at least based on what we've seen from PS6.
I think user-generated content is super important, and like, I mean, really, you can go back as far as Halo 2 custom lobbies. I mean, at least for me, right? I mean, I think that's an obvious no-brainer that people would want to play that, of course.
So it could very much be that those dynamics work for the audiences of those games, and that if done right, those games could see growth in a similar-ish way. And there is some precedent as well. It's a little thing that we call the modding culture of PC gaming. Right? Pretty basic.
This is one thing that's kept Elden Ring alive. One of the big reasons is that, and also Baldur's Gate 3, is that a lot of people just play mods of the game. And so that way it keeps the game relevant. It keeps people playing it because they're playing different versions of it. So
Yeah.
I think Skyrim's a better example than either of the one.
Oh, for God's sakes, cat. You turned the sound off by accident. You quit attacking me or I'm going to throw you out.
Yeah, moral issues very much exist.
I mean, child labor, there's a reason why they had to make it against the law. It's because people were doing it, and it worked. It worked really well.
Goddamn, what a business model. Turns out just child labor, that's where it was at all the time. Child labor, parents' money.
I was trying to tell you guys this.
Yeah, you just...
Now this demographic change opens audiences up to new sorts of experiences. These kids find new modes daily. They play new games daily within their Roblox. Maybe to them, they have an incredibly diverse gaming library and are playing new things absolutely all of the time in a way that you or I maybe don't, because firing up a new indie game, learning a bunch of new systems and all of that, legit just takes brain effort. I mean, for
exactly. And I think that's another thing is that a lot of people, like, there's a systems fatigue and a complexity fatigue that I think a lot of people have. And there's always going to be video games that are enjoyed for their complexity, but there's also a lot of people that don't enjoy them for that reason. Like, whenever I play a game and I open up a menu or I loot an item and it says 1 out of 500, I'm like, oh, fuck, right, it's going to be one of these. And that definitely fucking tires me out. Just the brain capacity going down. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't want to learn all this new stuff to play a video game I'm going to beat in 10 hours. Like, it's just, and I think that people, like, right now, especially as, like, you know, the way that people do jobs has changed, the way that people interface with making money changes. Like, there's so much complexity.
Yeah, he's completely right. I mean, agreeing. I'm agreeing.
I think they're working against themselves.
For example, it's no wonder that systemic experience-driven games like Peak or Lethal Company take off and then get microtransaction-filled clones.
Now, what happened there? The cat is on my keyboard. It's pausing the button.
In Roblox.
That's right.
Yeah, that parrot money. But certain games simply don't matter to this changing audience. Because so far
Sorry, guys. The cat is annoying me.
Which so far
I'll have to kick him out.
to sad dad games. They just aren't in the equation here. Even though I wager...
Well, I think that the problem with linear single-player games is that a lot of them are trash. Like, Expedition 33 proves any sort of idea that linear single-player games are dying out. It just immediately deletes that argument, right? The problem is that a lot of these linear single-player video games are just garbage. They're written by theater kids that couldn't get a job anywhere legitimate, so they're making a shitty video game. A lot of them have, like, weird politics in them that doesn't really resonate with any audience except for the people writing it. And also, the gameplay is below average, and the story is expected to make up for it, but the story is also below average, so you just end up with a game that's not very good. That's really what the problem is with a lot of these story-based games. That's it.
Those are the games that most people watching this channel care about quite a bit indeed. That might be a shocking thing, but it might be the best thing for the games that you love. Okay, think of this. The highest rated network broadcast of 2024 was Tracker. It got 11.34 million views. High Potential and Matlock Revival followed. All exceeded 15 million viewers. Massive successes. But the market is so big that you may not know about them. I literally did not know about any of those things until I came upon doing this video. Now, those shows massively outperformed Emmy-winning things like Shogun, The Bear, The Traders, Hacks.
I don't even know what Tracker is.
Were outperformed by Squid Game and Netflix.
Most of them I don't even know, except for Squid Games.
But it doesn't mean those experiences are being like
I don't really watch a lot of movies, but I'm starting to get into it. Watching things on YouTube mostly. stories and shit like that. I've been starting to look into more political stuff too in Australia.
Yeah, you saw this with Elden Ring. You saw it with
I'm not
Baldur's
like a
Gate 3, you
political
saw it recently
YouTuber or
with
anything like
Expedition
that. I just
33.
look at it,
Really good
base it on
AAA games
myself.
will succeed and will have transcendent success and cultural relevance. But the reality is that the majority of these AAA games are horrible. Like, a great example of this is Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's just a shitty game. That's really all it comes down to. It's just a shitty game. Everything about it is shitty. Like, I guess the graphics are good, but besides that, it's just bad. And so why would somebody go and play that? Why would a kid want to play that game that's slow? And this is another big issue, is that video games are, and this is a big problem that I have, a lot of video games aren't video games anymore. They're like this weird life simulator story thing, and you're not actively doing anything. It's one of the reasons why I really appreciate games like Dark Souls, or games like I've been playing Hollow Knight or Blasphemous. Like, yeah, they're interactive films. I don't want to see if I want to just. I grew up playing Super Nintendo. Like, I just want to start up. Okay, all right, so I'm right here, and then I gotta go over there. I gotta kill. Okay, so yeah, all right, we'll go get him, and that's it. It's that simple. I love simulators. Yeah, I love Sekiro for not drowning in story. Exactly, yeah. Story, I think, is good, but you need to have a good balance between the two. And I think that some games, and this is especially true with the beginning of games, like this is true with like Genshin or Star Rail or like gacha games all have this, where it's like the first 2 hours of this video game is an exposition where you're expected to learn 30 new proper nouns, 10 different terms.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got it there. I agree. Because I've seen that multiple times.
3 generations of it. And it's like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing here? I don't understand any of this. What's going on? It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like Persona 5X is more simple, maybe, right? Let me play. Yeah, let me play the game. And I think that there's a lot of single-player games that do not let you just play the game. It's a huge
Probably
problem.
not.
Viral network effects dynamics, like say with the company. And thinking of critical and public consensus, Expedition 33 is incredible. It is a top runner for Game of the Year. But if you
no, it's not. It's Game of the Year. It's nothing else is even remotely close. It's what are we doing?
selling games of the year and top engagement charts, you won't see Expedition 33. It is in there. 1 in 20 players on Steam or Xbox played Expedition 33 at launch.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I might give it a shot at some point, maybe on a stream or video. Once I've done my Let's Plays, guys, and upload the ones I want, we're going to be talking about how we're going to be doing it in the future. So we're changing. We're doing a big change on the Let's Plays and streams. Because I don't want to keep wasting time on games. I mean, I love my games. I'll be playing like Minecraft a fair bit, obviously, but we're going to be working out a balance.
It was the dick in the salad metaphor.
Because I've been wondering why I haven't been able to get into them, and now I know why.
But there would be some glaring, obvious problem with it. And that's the dick in the salad.
Oh, goodness gracious, that's one way of saying
just
it.
Get the dick out of the salad. Stop giving us salads with dicks in it. And Blizzard would say, well, you can eat around the dick. Well, it doesn't taste that bad. Or, oh, well, just don't look at it if you don't have to. Or, well, that's okay. You can just not eat the salad. But everybody was always just asking, no dick in the salad. And I think that so many video games, and this is especially true with live service video games, have these engagement mechanisms that are designed almost like antagonistically against the player. They're designed to just waste your fucking time. Like, it's, oh my god, like there's something, like I'm trying to think of a good example, like the corruption vendor in Battle for Azeroth, the rotation of selling the items. Like what else? The amount of things that you can do per day in a gacha game. Stamina in every gacha game. This is a dick in the salad situation. Adding in new relic sets and Honkai Star Rail that are effectively the same thing as the old ones, but the stats are slightly better, so now you have to refarm the same stuff. More dicks in the salad. Like island grinding, yes, always dicks in the salad. Dicks, dicks, dicks. People don't want dicks in their salad. And that's the reason why Expedition 33 was so successful, is that a lot of video games put dicks in the salad and people don't want it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just keep adding it, basically.
I
I don't know, I'm starting to like you some cakes, guys.
And funnily enough, that might mean
Yep.
He's definitely got the facial expressions.
Respecting your character. Why does that exist? It's a dick in the salad. That's the reason why. Fuck you. That's the reason why.
And funnily enough, that might mean it's well executed and that there is strong focus.
That's right.
I think that that is going to be the way forward for the sorts of games that many of us would be afraid we're going to stop seeing.
Yeah,
now, in this video,
you've
learned how the gaming market is changing. The demographics have completely shifted. Even how people identify within games has completely changed. And combined with the layoffs, may have you
Yeah, I think that's probably why I'm not into it as much, guys. I'm going to be honest.
There's a game crash. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, maybe there is. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, maybe there's going to be a big game crash.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that myself, dude. I said that in the last video. Actually, in the one before this.
Kids nowadays that are going to mobile games, but I'm also not surprised. Like, I remember whenever I was a little kid, I had no intention of playing a game like EverQuest because it just seemed slow, complicated, and boring. Like, I would much rather play Halo because it was direct, it's fast, it's kinetic, you can easily understand what's going on.
Yeah, that's how I like fast-paced games, guys.
Being involved and being interested in more simplistic games like Roblox, I don't really think should come as a surprise to anyone. And I think that if you go back and you look at a lot of the games that you probably played as a kid, especially like under 13, the majority of them probably were simplistic. And even games that have like a perception of complexity, like Legend of Zelda, are not really complex, right? Halo's not really complex. Like mini games are pretty simple, right? Like Diablo 2. Like Diablo 2 is a simplistic game if you want to play it that way. You just run around and you just hit things and that's it. And that's the way that a lot of kids play games, for sure. And so because video games and Roblox are designed for a 9-year-old, then big surprise, they're going to appeal to 9-year-olds. That's really it. So yeah, and let's go back if I find a few. The illusion of complexity is what they did best. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mario 64 was so pure, exactly. You didn't need to know a bunch of systems for Mario 64.
No, you need nothing. All you need to know is a drive.
Just go get the stars, idiot. That's it.
Yeah,
I think
basically
that's
that's
the reason why
it.
you have a lot of people nowadays that aren't really able to, what do you call it? They're not really able to understand that. And I
Here's the
think many
thing,
of them,
guys. I'm just not
you know, they're
interested in
really
it as
interested in
much.
learning
That's
and figuring
why
out
I'm
systems.
have to
They don't wanna
change
do
what I
that.
do with my
They
Let's
just wanna play a
Plays.
simple game
I
that
still
really
want to
have
do
fun
it, but I don't
play
want to do it.
and just relax and chill out. And that's all there is to it. How do you feel about Rested XP in terms of classic WoW? I mean, any paid add-on is bad. I mean, it's against the TOS to have paid add-ons. I think paid add-ons are bad. But I mean, like in terms of like the functionality of the add-on, it's totally fine. Like people should be able to play video games the way they want. Like this is the way I view things, right? Is that whenever you're playing like a game like Elden Ring, if you want to mod in having a tank and then blowing up every boss in one hit with a tank, you should be able to do that because it's your game. You should do what you want. Now, I don't think that you should play a game that way, and I don't think it's really conducive to having like a good experience enjoying a game. But at the same time, I think that there's a lot of people that do that, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's totally fine. So yeah, that's my speed exactly. And so it depends on what people want to do. And for me personally, like I generally prefer simplistic games. The reasons why?
Yeah, I
is
don't
because
mind
don't wanna think.
complex games to a
I don't
degree,
want to
but
think whenever I'm playing video games. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to think. I just want to sit there. I just want to play the game. I don't want to worry about anything. I don't have to plan anything. I don't want to have to use a lot of mental energy for this. I just want to fucking go and just pop off, right? I just want to play the game. No think gaming. It's Elden Ring. So you look at the dragon, go fucking hit him in the head. All right, let's go get him done. That's it. And so it's simple. And that's it. That's why you can't play RuneScape? Well, I don't know. But replaying Armored Core 6 has been fun. Yeah, Cosmic Switch is coming. It's got hella casual games. Yeah. I already have so many. The thing is for me, like just this morning, right? I had to make 2 or 3 pretty important decisions this morning. So I have like a degree of like decision fatigue that happens where I don't want to make decisions by the time it's like fucking the evening and the sun's down. I don't want to make any more fucking decisions. I just want to sit back and fucking play a game. And I think there's a lot of guys that feel that way.
yeah,
I know it
true.
sounds kind of like, oh, I just want to be retarded. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
Definitely.
much. For sure.
All right, let's end that.
Roblox is one of the most popular.
Sorry, guys, that video came on much faster. Yeah, so I kind of agree. I agree with him completely with that whole take. So I do like games, but I don't want to play games that are like my original plan was to do like 100% type of things. I don't care about 100%. I just want to play it, do what I can do on it, beat the main stuff, move on. That's probably what we're going to be doing in the streams in the future. Like I said, the games in the morning are going to be there, but they're going to be split by whatever game we pick, and probably Minecraft because I play that a fair bit, and I know I like Minecraft. So, but I can't play it for hours and hours and hours like everyone else can because they can grind for hours. I just can't do that. I can probably play it for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I probably can stream a normal game for about 3, maybe 3.5 hours tops. But other than that, yeah, I can't really do it. I'm more comfortable like looking online, checking, talking about Australia stuff, AFL, things like that. Things that are a bit more interesting to me. Not to mention, it'll get me out of my brain rot type of situation. Because in the past, guys, I was just about gaming. Now I'm debating if I'm gonna keep doing it definitely, but it's not gonna be the main part of the channel. I do have other hobbies, obviously AFL being one of them. I've got the trading card game I enjoy doing and unpacking and shit. I will definitely be continuing doing that, but it's not going to be the main content. The main content is going to be like reactions, news related Australia stuff. That's where I'm going to be focusing majority of the time. And yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to say, guys. Cheers. I hope you enjoyed. But yeah, I hope to see you in the future. Cheers, guys.